Hi, and welcome. My name is Abbey and I'm a water conservation coordinator with the City of Oklahoma City. We're so happy to have you join us for our first virtual water conservation workshop. The City of Oklahoma City Water Conservation Program is providing these workshops to help you continue to conserve water while at home. In these uncertain times, water conservation can be a strategic way to not only save water, but also save money on your utility bills. In this webinar, we're going to be talking about why water conservation is important, what it looks like for the City of Oklahoma City, and ways you can conserve water in your homes. And we're also going to have a short 10-minute water conservation challenge to help you find and fix leaks in your home so you can save more water. Just a few quick notes before we start. If you have any questions after the webinar, please email us at waterconservation@okc.gov. And if you need additional resources, we have a lot of great tips for saving waters indoors and outdoors on our website, squeezeeverydrop.com. So let's jump in and talk water. First, what is water conservation, and is it different from water efficiency? You can think of conservation as reducing water loss, waste, or use, and then efficiency is minimizing the amount of water you need to do a specific task, like running your dishwasher or washing machine. Both water conservation and efficiency work hand in hand to overall save water. For Oklahoma City, our water conservation program is the policies, strategies, and activities we use to manage demand on our fresh water supplies, protect the environment, and meet future demand. Water conservation for us is doing more with less. It's not necessarily doing without. Why is it important that we conserve water? Water conservation helps the city extend its raw water supply availability, meaning that the city's existing supplies can go farther. They can and potentially decrease the need to develop new supplies in the future. It also helps us as a city prepare for dry and drought conditions. The picture is from Lake Hefner during the last drought, and as you can see, the water levels dropped significantly, causing the city to begin to implement water conservation efforts to mitigate the effects of future droughts and plan for future population growth. Water conservation benefits both the end user and the utilities department. Why is water conservation important? This graphic shows annual precipitation in central Oklahoma since 1895. The brown is dry periods and the green are wetter periods, with the horizontal black line being the long-term average. What we see from this is that Oklahoma City experienced a longer average wet period in the 80s and 90s, but then looking back further, we also have extended periods of dryness. Looking at this type of information helps us understand why it is important to employ water conservation all the time and help flatten the curve, mitigate those high and low periods so we have a more sustainable long-term water use. The City of Oklahoma City's Utilities Department serves a large and growing population of over 1.4 million people in the metro area across 622 square miles. This means that the city needs almost 4,000 miles of pipeline to deliver water to over 200,000 homes and businesses. On average, the city pumps 92 million gallons a day to serve its customers. That's over 65 gallons of water per person living in the metro area. But before we can understand how we can conserve water in the city and in our homes, it's important to know where our water comes from. As with many states across the West and Midwest, the majority of the water supply is in one part of the state. In Oklahoma City, primarily the southeast portion of the state, but the majority of the population is in another part of the state. The city has 6 reservoirs across the state that store water for Oklahoma City residents. Canton, up in the northwest part of the state, Hefner, Overholser, and Stanley Draper in the central part of the state around the city metro area, and then in the southeast part of the state, Atoka, McGee Creek, and Sardis. But we get a large portion of our water from the southeast part of the state and pump it up the 100-mile Atoka pipeline, which is in the red line, to the city. Okay, so So we know that the city of Oklahoma City has a large and growing population. We know where our water comes from a long ways away, and we know that weather is unpredictable. Now, let's see how we can use water conservation and what the city is doing to conserve water every day. These are our program priorities. The water program has 3 tiers to accomplish our water conservation goals. The first, and probably our biggest, is our water conservation education and outreach. We do a lot of community events. You may have seen us at events like the Home and Garden Show. We do a couple events at the school, at the zoo, and then we also do workshops for neighborhood events and other things like that. We also have city-led initiatives and partnerships with various organizations around the city and the state, and then we also have enforcement and regulation when needed. So, in 2013, the city established water conservation measures to more effectively manage the demand on our system. This included a 5-stage tiered water conservation use requirements, no watering below 32 degrees, and a variance program for newly installed landscaping or seed. If you are installing seed or turf, you can apply for a 21-day or 30-day variance to be able to water outside the limitations of the water conservation measures. These are the 5 stages of the Oklahoma City water conservation measures. Stage 1 is mandatory odd-even lawn watering. So if your home address ends in an odd number, 13579, that means you water on odd days of the week. And then if your home address ends in an even number, you will water on even days of the week or month. So the variance program means that you could apply to water every day for an set period of time, 21 or 30 days. Stage 2 water measure is 2-day per week lawn watering. Stage 3 is 1 day per week lawn watering, and 4 and 5 gets significantly more stringent, with stage 5 being a ban on all outdoor watering. Each of these stages is based on a combined lake capacity, and you can see the percentages over on the right side of this graphic. So this is just a chart showing when the water conservation measures went into effect, April 13th, indicated by the blue line. And this is single family gallons per account per day. So this is how much water your household uses on average per day. The average household size in Oklahoma City is 2.5. And so you can see average gallons per account did drop off after the measures were implemented in 2013. But the water conservation program is more than enforcement. We do have a lot of other programs geared toward educating and recognizing water conservation efforts done in our communities. We have a neighborhood and homeowner association sprinkler checkup program. We had an H2O Outstanding Landscape Award. We have a restaurant program. We've done median projects where we'll go and partner with a local organization to retrofit median irrigation systems. We partnered with OSU and the Myriad Gardens on a variety of things. And then we've also done bill inserts and social media to promote our messaging. I'm going to touch on a few of our programs just to give you an idea of what we do and some of the resources we have available. So number 1 is our H2O Outstanding Restaurant Program. This program recognizes restaurants in the OKC metro area that go above and beyond to conserve water. We promote these restaurants on our website and in social media, and we also give them a sign that they can post in their windows saying that they're an H2O Outstanding Restaurant. For more information about that, you can go to our website, squeezeeverydrop.com. Another one of our programs is the sprinkler system checkup for homeowner and neighborhood associations. We will go This is a free service provided by the Water Conservation Program. Our team will come out and check the sprinkler system on common areas in your neighborhood. We will flag any issues that need to be addressed, such as broken heads, misaligned zones, pressure. We will adjust your controller to maximize your watering efforts. We have seen a great success with this program with investments made to fix system issues. HOAs and neighborhood associations have seen significant water savings and money savings. Okay. We've talked a little bit about what our water conservation program is. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about household water use and ways that you can potentially save water while at home. This graphic shows the top indoor water users, with the toilet being the biggest, and then the shower and faucets. Leaks can also cause your water bill to increase significantly, specifically the toilet, so we definitely recommend checking for leaks frequently, and we have a checklist that I will go over in a bit to show you how to do that in an easy way. So indoor water use. Probably the #1 thing that affects water conservation is going to be leaks, so broken or the appliance age and functionality. You might want to decide if it's time to replace or upgrade, and that your auto sensors are working properly. Check for leaks and repair if needed. For example, toilets installed prior to 1994 use 3 to 5 gallons per flush, and then high efficiency toilets use 1.6 to 1.28 gallons per flush, which is about a 25 to 50% water savings. A leaking toilet can cause significant increase in your water use, so be sure to check it regularly because you might have a leak even if you don't hear it running. And again, I will touch on in a minute how to easily check for leaks in your toilet. When replacing old or broken products, be sure to check for WaterSense labeled. Those guarantee a 25% reduction in water use if you install WaterSense labeled products. Okay, moving outdoors. In Oklahoma City, we usually estimate that outdoor water use accounts for about 30 to 40% of your total household water use if you have an irrigation system. Common outdoor water wasters can be incorrectly programmed controllers, so it is going off multiple times a day, every day. You have broken heads or misaligned zones. You're watering hardscapes, so driveways, sidewalks, that type of thing, not necessarily maximizing your water use. Also, a typical Oklahoma lawn of Bermuda grass needs about 1 inch of water per week in July. So if you stick a little rain gauge out there and you measure how much your rain we're getting and how much water you're applying, and you hit the 1 inch mark, then you don't need to water anymore after that. A broken sprinkler head as much as 25,000 gallons of water in a season, so you want to be sure to check your irrigation in the spring and reset it, make sure nothing's broken, run through it, and then also periodically throughout the summer, and then again set it up for winter in the fall. Again, we have tips for how to do that, and then you can also reach out to us if you have any questions on maintaining and checking your sprinkler system. We'd be happy to provide recommendations on that. And then the last thing, this is the last little part. It's a 10-minute WaterSense challenge. This checklist is to help you find and fix leaks in your home so that you can save water and save money. We have 3 easy steps to track down leaks. First, you're going to want to check your utility bill. On each of your utility bills, you should have a water usage summary, and it will look something like this chart, where you have the months on the bottom and then your average water consumption on the vertical axis. And you can see on average if you have any spikes in water use. So for example, this individual in January, they saw a bit higher spikes, so that might be contributed to a leak because typically in January you don't see those higher usage is. The units on the right, on the left axis are thousands of gallons. So 7,000 gallons is what we consider the average indoor water use. It might be higher or might be lower depending on the size of your home and the number of people living in it, but on average, 7,000 gallons is a good indicator. If you're using in the neighborhood of 20 to 30,000 gallons, you might want to check for leaks. Then you can also read your water meter. So you can go out, and at a time when you're not using any appliances in the house, you're not running your dishwasher or washing machine, no one's taking a shower, you can go out and look at your meter and see what the numbers are on it. You can wait 2 hours, and if that has moved significantly, that also can be indicative of a leak, whether underground in a pipe or something else. So that's another way to easily check and see if you have a leak. And then the last is to take a toilet test. So if you take some food coloring or coffee, something with a little bit of color, and you dump it in the back tank of your toilet, and you wait 10 to 15 minutes, if the color runs into the bowl of the toilet, that means that you have a leak. A toilet is a closed system, so water should not be flowing from the tank of the toilet into the bowl of the toilet unless you flush it. A leaking toilet can waste up to 200 gallons of water a day, and that's a significant amount of water over the month of your water bill. This is the simple checklist that the EPA provides for running through your household. In the bathroom, look at your toilets, your faucets, shower heads. Again, with toilets, you may sometimes hear the water running, but sometimes you might not. It describes the food coloring test to check for leaks. The tub under the sink, again, the same with the kitchen, all the things you should check to make sure you don't have any leaks. In your laundry room, and then don't forget to go outside if you have any spigots. Again, if you have an irrigation system, definitely check that for leaks. Walk around your system, check all of the zones. For your irrigation system, we can provide you with a sprinkler checkup form, and it will show you how to set your system to run all zones, and you can go through and run each zone for maybe 2 minutes just to see and make sure where the water is going, if anything's broken, so you can address that. This form and the link to the EPA resource for this 10-minute water leak challenge can be found at squeezeeverydrop.com under Saving Water Indoors, and we will also link it with this video, or you can go to the EPA's website. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Making the case. Water conservation, or water and wastewater rates are going to continue to increase over time. Water conservation makes sense in the long term because we have growing populations. We don't know what the weather is going to do. We can't predict when it's going to rain next. Water savings equals savings beyond just on your utility bill. It means you're going to be using less electricity, so you're going to have savings on your energy bills. And we recommend that you set a simple goal and start with a simple change first. So whether that's, especially in this time, we're all washing our hands a lot more, but maybe that's you get your hands wet, you put the soap on, and you turn the water off when you wash them, and then turn it back on to rinse your hands. That might not be applicable to everyone, but that's a good, easy way to just save some additional water that you might not know you're using. Maybe it's whenever you have empty glasses of water, you go and pour them on a house plant instead of down the drain, or you thaw out meat in the microwave instead of in water. You scrape your plates instead of rinsing them before you put them in the dishwasher. All of those types of actions are easy, tangible ways to see water savings in the long term, and again, you will see money savings on your utility bills. So that's all I have for now. My name is, again, Abbey Peisel. This is my email, abby.peisel@okc.gov. You can also call me 405-297-2898. I will make that change. We will be providing this PowerPoint and the links to the EPA Water Sense Challenge. And then again, for more information, please follow us on social media at SqueezeEveryDrop on Instagram and Twitter, and then facebook.com/SqueezeEveryDrop. Thanks so much for joining us, you all. Hope you stay safe and healthy.